Our next guest wrote about the impact on automakers. Let's welcome in Brian Johnson from Barclays. Brian, it's great to have you. Who's most affected by this? Everybody?
Yeah, really, everyone's affected. There's about 400 pounds of aluminum in the average car made in North America. Similar probably in Europe, although smaller cars. Within that, though, Ford is probably disproportionately exposed. As well known to your viewers, in 2014, Alan Mulally relaunched the Ford pickup truck, America's top-selling vehicle, based on an all-aluminum body. Probably has close to 900 pounds of aluminum. Now, good news, it replaced about 1,600 pounds of steel, but
right.
A very aluminum-centric and very profitable vehicle for Ford.
So what's the next step if now aluminum's in short supply? And it's interesting with aluminum structurally, I think it's the most energy-intensive metal to smelt, or whatever the verb is. So there's going to be an issue if not only power prices stay high, but just in general, as we try to see all these nations producing less emissions. Does that mean higher aluminum prices, and is there any replacement?
Well, the big worry now is not just price, it's actually supply. Because as you noted,
sure.
China supplies about 86% of the world's supply of magnesium. Magnesium's, you can't make aluminum for automotive grade aluminum without magnesium. A lot of credit here, by the way, to my colleague in London, Amos Fletcher, who covers the mining sector there, for unearthing this. The government in China, because it was hitting its CO2 and pollution caps, basically shut 35 of the 55 magnesium producers. It's a very dirty carbon coal intensive process. At one point, production was down by 40%, where now it's down up to about 72% of the first half average. But that's still not enough. China consumes most of what comes out of the mines in China, so exports are still down over 60%.
Sure.
So with the way the supply chains work, compounded by, of course, all the issues you cover day to day, that means that if the magnesium can't come in from China to aluminum smelters in North America, there's going to be crunches in supply of aluminum.
And I mean, as you note here, while we might have bottles instead of aluminum cans if the shortage gets bad enough, there's not really a way to substitute. And you're not panicking yet for these automaker stocks. You raised your Ford price target $1 to $18, GM a couple bucks to $70. You still have them both as a buy. And even Tesla, which was able to kind of be a little bit more nimble on the chip issue, couldn't get around a lack of aluminum, which, again, maybe at a smaller scale is less of a problem for them than for some of the bigger automakers. Is there anybody who can get aluminum from U.S. sources, or is that out of the question?
Well, the aluminum does come from U.S. sources, but the magnesium needed to alloy that aluminum to make it strong enough for automotive applications comes largely from China. So what we're really looking for in the Ford call is some assurance that they've lined up supplies into at least first half 22, so their most profitable vehicle can continue to be produced. In terms of price, steel is actually up threefold since third quarter of 2020. Aluminum's up so far 60%. So paradoxically, even though the F-150, when it came out, had higher cost metal content, being aluminum versus steel, now actually the steel pickup trucks are more expensive in terms of the input cost. So we're a little bit less worried about the impact on the cost side of the equation than just can Ford even make these trucks. And more broadly, will this be the next thing that crimps auto production in first half 22?